Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Wednesday, November 21st. 11:30 p.m. Mountain Time 2018. You're looking at the GFS total snowfall, including sleet, and it's looking pretty neat. Check out the record lake effect snow off of Erie, Michigan, and so on. Record snows in West Michigan coming just after Thanksgiving. Heavy snows in eastern Canada, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, New York, western PA, western New York. Check out the Rocky Mountains. An unknown amount of snow is going to fall in the Sierras over the next 10 days. An unknown amount. It's above 4 feet. And it's definitely not sleet, especially in the high country. This show is going to be bombastic. I am Mr. Fantastic, and it's boom time. Hold on to your seatbelts, folks. Buckle up. The screen is white. It's boom time. No, don't do it, Al! Is that a big green? Never mind. It's boom time, but it's not showing up. CBS News, Northern California's campfire death toll hits 83 as area prepares for heavy rain and possible mudslides. Not the kind with vodka in Kahlua. Northern California could see heavy rain over the next few days, which could help crews battling the devastating campfire. However, it could also bring mudslides and complicate recovery efforts. At press conference Wednesday night, the Butte County Sheriff's Office said 2 more people died in the fire, bringing the total to 83. Officials also said the amount of missing people on their list has decreased by more than 560. Whew, thankfully. Still hundreds missing. Officials need to make direct contact with a missing person before they can be removed from the list. The campfire decimated the town of Paradise, population 27,000, and surrounding communities. Record-setting cold on tap for Thanksgiving. Heads up, Hartford. Waterbury, -8 in Salisbury, Connecticut. Whew. I love that steak. Man, it's delicious. The instant mashed potatoes. An Arctic blast is on the way just in time for the Thanksgiving holiday. And the computer will not scroll. Hartford, Connecticut, an Arctic blast is on the way just in time for Thanksgiving. Chief Meteorologist Bruce Depressed said an Arctic cold front will have swept through the state early this evening, totally turning it purple. It's purple, and this is white. What a fright. Boom! And that's tonight's first boom. Let's get it downloaded. Snow showers ahead of what could be the coldest Thanksgiving on record. Nothing rhymes with that. Snow squalls possible in northern New Hampshire Wednesday afternoon. That's New Hampshire for all you people aren't in the know. An Arctic front will push through the state Wednesday with one of the busiest holiday travel days of the year, freezing millions of people's arses. A few snow squalls, especially in the northern New Hampshire, are possible. These squalls could be brief and blasty with heavy snow and limited visibility, as squalls tend to be. The National Weather Service issued the snow squall warning 2:45 p.m. for I-93 and US 2 in New Hampshire in the Franconia and Littleton areas. We're blocking you. Check out the satellite radar. Chase Powell from Wednesday night to Sunday. Fun day. Deep turkey tracks are possible. Look at the models. Those aren't schmodels. Those are showing magentas and gorgeous colors way above the heavy depths. I see 24 inches for most areas. Yeah, and this is just to the 25th, 4 days out. And it looks like most ski resorts are going to see epic bases building bases right in your faces. All the global warming schmucks anyway. Total snowfall for the west through Sunday morning. Endorphin making. The detailed forecast posted yesterday is still on track for most areas. 3 storms are expected over the next 5 days for much of the West. Models are coming in better agreement this morning with the initial surge of moisture for the Cascades and the Sierras Wednesday night into Thursday. This initial push of moisture will spread moderate snow in the Cascades for Gobble Gobble Day. The Oregon Cascades are slightly favored to tilt the entire continent to the west, as well as the far north range in Washington near Mount Baker. I wasn't a Quaker. Snow levels will be above the bases for most resorts, retorts say. However, moderate snowfall will be falling from the mid to upper levels, 4 to 7 inches. After a brief break on Gobble Gobble Day in the morning, a colder system will arrive for later in the week through Saturday. Significant snowfalls are likely up and down the Sierras and the coast Thursday, Saturday for much of the Cascades with higher quality powder. Total snowfall through Saturday is likely to exceed 15 to 18 inches in the upper Ellie's in much of the Cascade Range. In the Sierras, Mammoth may be favored for initially Wednesday, Thursday with higher elevations. Northern Rockies, the Wasatch, all of them. Oh my goodness. Colorado, see a quick 3.5 and then another storm and then another storm. I can't make it up. There's the data, 4 days out. And I got the clout because I got the maps. 5 to 20 inches is the 48-hour snowfall total from Thursday to Saturday morning. Alone. Smoke a bone. These lift tickets are going to be expensive, but they're going to be worth it. Take a look at the totals. These yellows are over 3 feet in 48 hours in the Sierras, just from Thursday to Saturday morning. 4 feet from Thursday to Saturday morning in the Sierras, northern Utah. You haven't seen snow like this since you've seen snow like this. Yeah, that's what that was. Remember when the snowman got, oh! I remember that day. Whew. It was in the past, and now it's the future. And they told us it would never snow. Well, how wrong were they? Frigid Thanksgiving, first alert for extreme cold. The first alert extreme cold is in effect for Thanksgiving and Black Friday. What color is Saturday? We won't know until maybe tomorrow. That's how it's going to feel, cold turkey. And that's a schmirky. NBC 10 First Weather Alert meteorologist Glenn Hurricane Schwartz, who wears the best bow tie in the business, is watching a cold front heading our way. It could impact your Thanksgiving plans. Temperatures will drop rapidly overnight, and Thursday will be frigid for Thanksgiving. We can't make it up, but we can push the button. It's not going to play. Work with us. The NBC 10 First Alert Weather Team issued first alert for extreme look at these hour-by-hour temps. Thursday, 8 a.m., 21 in Philly, 11 in the Poconos, 15 in State College, 14 in Boston, 27 in Washington. The entire area is going to be blasted. Heads up. Just like Frosty is about to get blasted. Extreme cold and winter weather expected. Buffalo. The National Weather Service has issued weather advisories for Wednesday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Lake effect snow is expected with total accumulations 3 to 5 inches. Some areas wind gusting as high as 40. A strong Arctic cold front is going to flux Buffalo. Heavy rain and mountain snow in the west. Bitter wind chills in the northeast. The beasts from the east will eventually go to the UK, and it won't be their day. A series of Pacific storms will produce heavy rain in portions of California, including the recent burn scars where debris flows, mudslides, and flash flooding are possible through Friday. In addition, heavy mountain snow up to 3 feet or more is forecast in the western state mountains. A blast of Arctic air will push wind chills between minus 15 and minus 25 in the Northeast on Thanksgiving morning. Is this a nightmare? Ow! Oh, back in 2007, this guy won the Nobel Prize. Yeah. The committee praised Al Gore, the IPCC did. The Intergovernmental Panel of Global Frauds praised Gore as a man who has done the most to create a complete delusion in the majority of the population. What a effing schmuck. 2007, this schmuck predicted the North Pole would be ice-free by 2013, which was one of the higher ice years in the last 4 decades. And the fact is that polar ice caps are now at the highest levels that they have been since Al Gore won his glorious prize, D-Bag of the Year, or Fraud of the Year, however you look at it. Check out the GFS models. Let's walk you through your gobble gobble day in North America. Here's your Thursday morning. Heavy snows hit Central Sierras immediately, and it moves over to the Rocky Mountain front through the day. It's going to seem like Christmas morning, and you're Bob Cratchit. You better grab your hatchet or already have your wood stacked, because it is not going to be able to be stacked after this storm, which is going to move into western. Oh, and it's going to move east. By the 28th, the East Coast is going to get buried again in its second major event, which is going to be a clipper, bringing heavy lake effect snows to Erie, West Michigan, and other areas that we predicted are going to see the most snow ever recorded in modern history. It's not a mystery. We are 1 month away from winter, and they're already at record totals. 11 minutes, 40 seconds in. It's not a sin. Frosty is a bye-bye. Are you prepared? Are you preparing? How prepared are you? Be prepared, not scared. Apparently we have a really slow and terrible satellite link up. So we'll just let these things parse. You have a second. Let's check out Frosty. Boom! Extreme cold weather alert issued for Toronto. Hoser. Toronto's medical officer of health has issued an extreme cold weather alert, as the temperature is expected to fall to negative 13°C Wednesday. Minus 13°C if you don't like negative. And that's a schmegative. The advisory is issued when the temperature is forecast to be really frickin' cold, or colder than really frickin' cold, which is extremely cold. And that means a wind chill of negative 20, minus 20°C or colder. Let's hear what this guy has to say. He looks fancy. Doesn't it look like Christmas morning?
News meteorologist Anthony Farnell with a look at your cross-Canada winter forecast.
Did he say winter?
Global News meteorologist Anthony Farnell with a look at your cross-Canada winter forecast. This is a very wintry scene, and it's become a common occurrence this
fall. Say it.
Fall.
Hey, fall guy. He's a tall guy,
Anthony
man.
Farnell with a look at your
Did he used to play basketball?
Winter forecast. This is a very wintry scene, and it's become a common occurrence this fall. Yeah, winters come early for much of the country. So what is going on? Well, let's look at the Pacific.
The Grand Solar Minimum basketball guy.
If this was a strong El Nino,
stick a needle in your eye.
We'd expect warm air.
There's that warm blob. Yeah, it's all because of the warm blob. Toronto's medical officer of health has issued an extreme cold weather alert as temperatures are expected to fall to minus 13°C Wednesday evening. The advisory is issued when temperatures are forecast to be minus 15°C or colder, with a wind chill of minus 20°C or colder. The conditions are expected to warm up on Thursday, with temperatures reaching minus 5°C for the daytime high and minus 9°C for the low. Wow, that sounds amazing. Global warming much? Boom! I doubt it. European winter forecast to be the coldest in years. Europe can expect icy conditions and well below average temperatures, particularly for January and February, according to the weather company. For the 3-month period from December to February, the company is forecasting below normal temps across the northern 2/3 of Europe. Adding insult to injury to an already horrendous crop season and probably killing off the rest of the grapes. Seismic update. No major quakes or loss of life today. We have a moderate uptick on the Ring of Fire in Alaska, 5.7 at Redoubt. No doubt volcanic in nature. Most recent quake, 3.3 in Petrolia offshore in the Cascadia. Tiptonville, Tennessee. The New Madrid is rumbling. Are you preparing? Worldwide Volcano News Update. Popo has been non-stop for 48 hours. Tucano, Reventador, Sakorehima, Sabancaya, Swanosima. I can't say it fast enough. Cosmic rays increased for the past week, and volcanoes they be exploding. Popo in the dark, puffing it. Saku puffing it. Puffing it. Are you puffing it? Come over to Volcano YTS. Give them a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. What are you wasting your time? Subscribe now. Ask a friend if you don't know how. Buried! The feds released major climate change report on Friday. Black Friday, the IPCC report, part 2 is going to be released, thankfully, and no one will give up. Except us. We're going to make fun of it. It's total nonsense. A total pile of shite that cost millions upon millions of taxpayer dollars to create this voluminous piece of garbage that just pushes the narrative for globalization so you can get your barcode and be the bitch that they want you to be. If you don't know you're a slave, think about it. They just gave you the ability to buy a house and a car. A few hundred years ago, you were an indentured servant. And before that, you had a shackle on. And now you think your 401k is yours. Well, wait until they extract the wealth from humanity over the next year or two. It's happening right now in the stock market. You know what I'm talking about. Don't even pretend I'm like, wow. Oh, this is amazing information. I want to see what a butterfly diagram looks like. 18 minutes and 7 seconds in, with no moving parts, this plane flies on the ionic wind. This thing is amazing. Since planes were invented, they were flown using moving parts to push air around the Bernoulli effect. Yes, it's a big word. You can Google it. These are gliders and dirigibles which float more than they fly. But powered lights is all about propellers, and that's why they call them that. Today that changes with the first ever solid-state aircraft flying with no moving parts at all, generating an ionic wind, just like in Star Trek. An ion thruster. And it is not science fiction, folks. You're looking at the ion thruster fly right there. It's a flyby. Star Trek in motion. No moving parts. Simply the creation of an ionic wind moving a glider. Now, if you make this at a huge scale, you could move thousands of people silently just above the surface of the Earth. Create no pollution. And we could have been doing this all along. I guess the inventors that made this are about to be murdered. That's the best guess that I can give you. After many, many revisions and as many crashes, they arrived at the 5-meter wide, 2.5 kilogram multi-decker craft. After a few false starts, it flew. Yeah, it's just like Kitty Hawk. The first ever sustained flight of a plane with no moving parts in the propulsion system. This has opened a new and unexplored possibilities for aircraft which are quieter, simpler, and have no pollution. I hope these people have security. Sea ice thickness, multi-decadal averages going back decades. We're hitting it. Heavy ice building a bridge across the Arctic that will last for the rest of your lives. Record ice building on Greenland. Yesterday we were at 12 gigatons. Today we're sitting at a comfortable 4 gigs, well above the multi-decadal average. No one's reporting on record ice building in eastern Greenland. Let's talk about daily sunspot numbers. Let's talk about the reports that reverse polarity sunspots in northern latitudes on the sun are signaling cycle 25. Well, they are. You're looking at a butterfly diagram on the top and the average daily sunspot smooth numbers on the bottom from 1870. Now, a butterfly diagram is a very good representation of exactly what is happening with sunspots on the sun. And in fact, the region you're looking at, each of these pixels depicts a sunspot and the exact region on the sun, where the middle of this graph represents the sun's equator, an area of the north half and the south pole. And each of these pixels represents where sunspots begin and where they're named. Now what you'll see is that these butterflies, the wings extend well into the other wing. So that here we are in cycle 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, cycle 19 here. You can see cycle 19 tucks way under cycle 20. So there were actual sunspots happening back in 1964 before the end of cycle 19, years before. And the same for cycle 20, 21, 22. There was a sunspot for cycle 22 back in 1984, 2 years before the cycle ended. 2 years. So, cycle 25 is not going to begin anytime soon. The soonest it will begin is a year or so, but I think it'll be about a year and a half from now. Do you see how laid out and flat this butterfly wing is here on cycle 24? It's more like this cycle back here in 1890, which is laid out flat and then extends for 5 more years. Yeah, that's the cycle we're in. It may extend for 5 more years. In which case, plasma physicists and astrophysicists better shut their mouth. Those are the facts. Sea ice, multi-decadal averages about to pass through them. All-time record highs for over a decade. Global warming is dead now. Daily sunspot butterfly diagram explained why negative polarity spots can happen years before the end of a cycle. Because they overlap, kids. And we're heading into a shallow cycle, which typically lasts for years longer than expected. Short cycles, 9.5 years. Long cycles can last 12 or 13 years. I think we're in an 11 or 12-year cycle. I'm pretty sure it's a 12-year cycle. We have a long way to go. LeakCon 2019, Dr. Jeff Pristupa personal and professional happiness, healthiness, and wellness coach. This guy is no joke. 1975 graduate of Wesleyan University, has been an independent cancer researcher for nearly 30 years. Began his journey when he was awarded a position at the Laboratory of Human Genetics in the Sloan Kettering Cancer Center in New York City in the 70s. He did tissue cultures, where he learned nutrition, cell development, and has been working on this for decades. Now, he's going to be giving his presentation at LeCon, Real Cancer versus Fake Cancer. For those of you that want to put the pieces together that have been studying this, I think this is the top guy in the field, and he's local, and he's awesome. He's been doing it the longest. Early detection of cancer has a new target, inflammation. He is totally against mammography, and he is totally for thermography, a completely non-invasive way to detect cancers ahead of time so you can treat them holistically and kill them before you ever have to have chemo. Cannabis oil much? This guy is the real deal, and he's going to be giving his talk, Real Cancer versus Fake Cancer, for all VIPs and all general admission. He's also going to have his thermographer there. So if you want to get your boobs checked, do it in the exhibit hall. I said it, and that's boom. So big up to Dr. Jeffrey Bristupa for putting his hand out, and he's going to be joining us at LeCon 2019. One of the keynote speakers, Real Cancer versus Fake Cancer, and why the industry is robbing you of millions of dollars, cutting off your boobs when they don't have to be, and injecting you with radiation for no purpose. Living Technologies will also be in the exhibit hall. They just invented a super immune activator with raw milk kefir and GC-MAF. I have no idea what that is, but they do. If you have any questions, come check out their website. There'll be links below, or show up at LeCon and they'll be there. And you can put all their ointments all over your face. Kindness, mindfulness, belief, spirit, family, intention, peace, love, faith, healing, blessings, guidance, and gratitude. It is Thanksgiving. Give the ones you love a kiss and a hug tonight, if they're nearby. If not, hug them with your mind. We can all survive and thrive in the future. They even have broccoli sprouts. Man, these guys kick ass. Living Technologies will be in the exhibit hall at LeCon. Be prepared, not scared. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. It's a no-brainer. It's a military adage from the Brits. And guess what? Our sponsor, My Patriot Supply, just kicked it up a notch. Give the gift of preparedness. They just reduced the prices on the most essential preparedness package right here. 3-month food supply, plus 100 heirloom seed packs in an ammo can. Prepare now. It's almost half off. This is a $1,017 package for $547. The channel gets $50. Secure your family's preparedness with a 3-month food supply. This will protect for any eventuality of a grid down situation where you need to get your stuff together. Plenty of food. You can use it for barter. And then you got the 100 heirloom seed kit and an ammo can so that you can start over again. You can start the day the event happens. In 3 months, you'll be able to harvest the food that you're already growing. That's the whole point. $547. To get into this, it cost you over $1,000. Years ago, $2,000. For $547, it gets shipped to you, already packaged, 25-year life, already in the storage containers with seeds. No brainer. Are you prepared? I am. I'm not as prepared as I want to be. And every day I'm working steps to being more prepared. Every day. My sciatica, I can't even move my left leg. Oh, I was gonna go to the hot springs tonight, but I stayed and did the video instead. I've been here for 5 straight days eating food that I grew here exclusively. Because I can. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I'll just go out and go to the restaurant or go to the store or whatever. And I say, no, I'm gonna stay. Because I know it's practice. I'm running out of toilet paper. I'm running out of supplies. But I stay and see if I can do it. Because I can. And it's fine. I just found a piece of chocolate. It was amazing. It was like my birthday. It can be your birthday every day. Attitude of gratitude solves all your problems. Quit your bitching. There is nothing that is a problem. Problems are created in the mind by you and you alone. If you don't believe me, think about it for a minute. Fear is a liar. Problems are invented. I know, it's a little psychology and a little weird. I know you feel a little weird. Squeeze your thumb. Remember that? Activate the pituitary. Get some more oxygen into your brain. We love you. Practice makes perfect. Some of us are sicker than others. But there's no need to be rude or crude. Practice benevolence and gratitude. The attitude of gratitude is the key to happiness. We love each and every one of you. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Share this with like-minded people. Happy Thanksgiving. Be safe. Gobble, gobble.